Welcome to Bleav In 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav In 76ers is presented by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from NFL playoffs to pro and college basketball, UFC, MMA, and much more. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. With live betting options, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. BetOnline is truly the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your rewards. BetOnline.AG, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav In 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. Obviously, we haven't seen each other since last Friday, so we got a lot of things to get into, so we're gonna get right into it after kind of a whole week of kind of ups and downs. So we're going to go into it with our first topic here to start it off. So obviously a string of weird games, lost a brutal one to Boston, a buzzer beater, probably the best buzzer beater that didn't count ever. Lost to Miami, then came back and then beat Miami at Miami without Joel Embiid, and then lost a weird one to the Mavericks, which I thought we were going to get dominated after that third quarter. Then we made that comeback because of Maxey. So obviously a lot of highs and lows this week. Eric, you said this was going to be a really important and tough stretch for us. How are you feeling so far with what you've seen from our guys this week?
I mean, somewhat encouraged. I think that
You believe in moral victories, Eric?
No, the reason why I say that is because it's like the Boston game, you would want to win that game, but we put ourselves in position to win that game. So you feel like that was our game to win.
Yes.
The Miami game, that was disappointing, but I felt we kind of got the game there. It kind of was a swap. We should have won the home game. And at Miami and at Dallas was sort of games that I was like, it'd be tough. And that's a back-to-back in Miami and going to Texas. Like I kind of looked at these four games as the 2-2, journey. I was thinking that hopefully we can get them out 2-2. That's what we did. We didn't particularly win the games the way I thought we would win them. But I thought coming out 2-2 was, to me, kind of what I was envisioning. You would like to see us finish the game off against Boston. That probably could have gave us the opportunity to be 3-1.
Yeah.
That's probably the next step if we want to catch the two teams in front of us. And that's why the Boston game was even bigger, because they had already beaten us twice and they're ahead of us. So now they have the tiebreaker, which means you got to have an extra game on them. So from that standpoint, it was disappointing because of who we were playing. But the 2-2, I'm fine with.
I'm not a huge moral victory fan, but I when it's convenient, I like them. It's convenient right now, so let's like them. No, I think this was an important stretch. I think the one later in the season's even harder than this, so we got to see how it unfolds. Period. 5-6 road games in a row? It is going to be tough. It wasn't going to be easy. So, I think we needed to win that Boston game. Giving up a huge lead to them sucked. We should have still won. We played their starters so well. I think that is the most encouraging part. We have their starters down pretty much. Miami, I just think, look, the more desperate. They've been playing like crap, and they needed that win so bad, and we just didn't play like we needed it, which is sucks. We were still reeling off that Boston loss. I thought we'd come out a little harder, but we came out hard for that second Miami game. So that was good. They looked out of gas. They looked like they expended all their energy on that first Sixer game And then they were like, oh, they're not gonna win without Embiid. So they kind of just went out there thinking they were gonna take it away. The Mavericks, man, that game was so brutal. They just couldn't. It was one of those games where you watch every single ball, like that's going in. And they did almost. They got a little cold at the beginning of the fourth when we came back, but man, that third quarter was like you're down by a lot, like a 2K, and you make it like rookie mode, so you can just hit all your shots and come back easily. That was insane how they did that. That was honestly the best case scenario for Kyrie and Luka. That's why they did that trade right there. That's not sustainable for them. So that was going to stop at some point. But dude, Kyrie was out of his mind. That was just unstoppable.
So I must say, my 2-2 was saying that we had to be 2-2 winning the next game. So when I was judging the record, I wasn't talking about the Boston game. Mm-hmm. I was talking about the two Miamis, and then the Dallas and.
Oh, okay. Question. Those Harden rumors aren't going anywhere. And there was a report that multiple Sixers think that he'll go back to Houston. Mm-hmm. If they're acknowledging that, how much do you think the rumors like that are playing with the vibe of the team?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that's an issue, because I think if anything, guys they understand free agency. They understand he can do what he wants to do. So I would see more, let's go win this chip, and then you do whatever you want to do, more than, man, I'm worried about next season. That's not how they operate, where they worry about next season like that. The rumor's not going to go anywhere. Obviously, I said before, it could be free agency, it could be salary, it could just be what he wants to do. But that's what free agency is. He has the right to do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody wanted it out there. I don't know who that is.
No, I think a lot of people want it out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like somebody wants it out there, and it's out there. So I don't think it's going to be an issue right now. But come playoff time, if someone's not performing, it's just going to be magnified.
Do you think that puts more pressure to, like you said, if we win a chip, then nothing matters? But up until that, do you think it puts more pressure to win the chip?
Not right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you have to almost see how the playoffs are going.
Yeah.
I think it puts more pressure on you in the first round. It definitely puts more pressure on you in the second round, because we haven't even got past that. Mm-hmm. So I think the playoffs, it'll be magnified, because it's, if you're performing well, you're not performing well. I think in general, the playoffs is what it's really all about with this team.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
you can go through this season, it could be great or not great, and that can, either way, it can all be erased by the playoff performance.
Yep. I think these last few games can be erased by a Milwaukee win.
Yes, that's what but that's the stage, though. You know what I'm saying? That's where this team is. It's like, okay, then what are we going to do? Because that's why, in some ways, we were talking about with the conference a while ago. The conference finals, would that be enough? Like, it kind of depends on how it goes.
Yeah,
and that's
how you get bounced.
Yeah, it's going to. The whole thing matters. So I think with this James stuff and Joel and Doc and everyone else, it all depends on how we play in the playoffs. Even PJ Tucker move. Everything comes down to the performance based in the playoffs, because that's where this team is. That's what you're being judged on now.
Yeah, I just think a lot of Sixer fans just more bringing up the fact that this is coming out now, where, like, if you look at the other top two teams in the East, top three teams in the East and West, you don't really have much like drama or rumors coming out, but it's happening with us. It's just kind of.
But they also don't have their second best player or starting point guard as a free agent.
Yeah. He's looked great though.
He's played well.
He looks great. I like the McDaniels Paul Reed combination. They look great. They clamped down, man. That's got to be a thing going forward for sure. Joel's Joel. I did notice Tobias was a lot more aggressive last night.
Yeah.
They made it a point to put him in one-on-ones, make him be the focal offense at times.
Well, I mean, you went on record and said Dallas liked him, so I mean, it's
Yeah, you're right. There you go, Eric. That's memory.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to help him go to the work that trade you've been trying to work.
Every time they look at the dog, Kate looks at the dog, Doug's like, yeah, pretty good.
You've been trying to work it, so
you like this guy, don't you?
Do it in the game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but maybe you're right. But yeah, I think we need him in, man. We need him in there. We need him like focused and aggressive and a part of the offense.
Yeah. So one of the biggest keys this week, kind of one of the biggest takeaway of the week was Tyrese Maxey, who's now back in the starting five. Wednesday was because Embiid was out, so he went with kind of a 3-guard lineup with Melton, Harden, and Maxey. And then last night against the Mavericks, Maxey was in the starting lineup again. They moved Melton back to the bench. And both played well in the role. So last night, Melton went 12, 6, and 7. Maxey, last 2 games, has scored 27 and 29 points. And just looks more. It looks like the Maxey that we saw in the playoffs last year, and the Max that we all thought we were going to see all throughout the season. And on the telecast last night, they also said that Doc is still fine-tuning the starting five, so this isn't necessarily what we're going to be our starting five the rest of the season. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought we were going to maybe, once Maxey was back in the starting lineup, that was it. He was going to go back to being in the starting five, but obviously Doc's still retooling that. But do you think if Maxey is kind of in the starting five again, do you think this means the 6-man role for him was a failure, Eric?
Well, you know where I stood on the whole 6-man thing. I said from the beginning, this wasn't a move to benefit Maxey. It was only to quote unquote benefit the team. So that's what it showed, that it didn't benefit him. I mean, the team performed well. They performed well with him in the lineup, and they performed well with him not in the lineup, starting lineup rather. But it didn't benefit him.
Yep.
It did matter. I mean, you're wrong. His minutes were lower. His minutes was less. There was no way. It's not like they kept his minutes the same. That's why I was saying, like, if they keep his minutes the same and his role the same, but when they moved him to the 6-man or the bench as a reserve, it was presented like nothing would change except for him not starting. That wasn't true.
It's not. You're right.
That wasn't true.
No.
Now, I have no issue with it if how it was presented. That's what actually happened. That didn't happen. You took a guy that was playing well out of the lineup off an injury, and his minutes decreased, his touches decreased, but we wanted the same production. Who are you kidding? How are you going to get the same production with less? So you put him back in the lineup, minutes increase, touches increase, because he's proven that he can get touches because he don't need touches in the half court. He can go out there and he's almost a one-man fast break.
Yep.
He'll get more of that in his starting lineup than he will as a reserve, because usually as a reserve, he's the guy bringing the ball up the court instead of the guy going up the court and receiving the ball. That's the biggest difference. So it does matter when he plays and who he plays with from an effective, being an effective standpoint.
So, yeah, I did a little deep diving into the splits, actually. So the minutes are definitely less. As a starter, he's averaging 36 minutes. As a bench, he's averaging 29. So that off the bat, big difference right there. 23 points. Yeah, dude, that's a lot. 23 points as a starter, 16 points as bench, 46 and 11, or 46 and 41 shooting percentages, field goal on 3, compared to 45 and 37. A little dip at 3, but not a huge difference, right? 13 shots per game on the bench, 18 attempts as a starter. It's a big difference too. Overall usage was pretty same. It was about -2% off the bench, which you'd actually expect his usage to go up if he's being put with less talented.
Yeah, I mean, but usage
players, right?
goes down if you're bringing the ball up the court because you're just giving the ball up more so than making plays.
True. Yeah.
When he's in the starting lineup, when he catches the ball, it's to make plays. He's not trying to run the offense and set anybody up. He's trying to score the basketball.
Yeah. So offensive defensive ratings are pretty close. So it wasn't as much as a starter benching as it was just a minutes thing, right? So they could have kept his minutes the same and still had him come off the bench, but
that's what I'm saying. That's how it was presented.
Yeah, this is not what happened.
He was still going to play 30 minutes or whatever. But I said it then. There's no way it's going to be the same. It's not. It comes off as what? A demotion. Yeah, and that's how it looked.
Yeah, well.
It was no other way to look at it. I said it then when it happened. No, this is not a promotion. This is not good for him.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they're not stubborn about it and they realize it and they rectified it. And maybe they will go back to him on the bench against certain teams. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, a lot of people think Doc has a burner account on Twitter, and he's seeing all the fan hate about having Maxey on the bench and also not giving Paul Reed minutes. And the same week, he gives Paul Reed more minutes, and Maxey's back in the starting five. So maybe,
y'all just wanted to bench Maxey a couple of games ago.
He was already benched.
Was it the Boston game or something? Y'all said he shouldn't be playing, so like, y'all behind that. Whatever game that was.
I think I was talking about trading him during the trade deadline.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was me. I'm back on the Maxey
train. You're back on the trade train or the Maxey train?
I'm back on the Maxey train. He's back.
Oh, okay.
He's back and I'm back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. I mean, if it's a good trade, I'd still do it.
I don't know. With all these Harden rumors, if he wants out, let's give Maxey the keys to the kingdom. Maxey and Embiid, baby.
Keys to what?
You can't move Maxey now until you get some stability on the James issue.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
That's just gonna come down to James is working that him and his people, whoever putting this out there is working that they basically have started contract negotiation.
Yeah, which I think that's what it mostly is. I think it's money and years. That's what they want.
He started the contract negotiation.
Because it's not like, it'd be one thing, I keep laughing because it's like, it'd be one thing if he left Houston like 7 years ago, and he's like, damn, I missed it those days. It was like 2 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago that he wanted out of that place.
Well, yeah, it's one thing if they were like built to win right now. And they aren't.
Yeah. I mean, all they have is the money aspect.
And in some ways, like it's a decision. Like, why would Houston do it?
Because they get Brooklyn's pick anyway, so they don't need to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in some ways, why would they do it?
How petty.
I'm just saying, if you're completely rebuilding,
if
you're completely rebuilding, why would you do it?
Yeah, and I've seen on those threads a lot of Houston fans. Some are just like, they gave their heart to Harden many years ago, so they just want him back under any circumstance to make it more fun to watch games. Other people are like, why? Why would we do that? What for what? Other than just to make it more fun to watch. But man, when they're losing most of their games, what, Harden's going to ask out again? Like, what? I just don't get it. I mean,
it doesn't seem to be the best. It doesn't seem to be the best basketball decision either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for James and for them, basketball decision. That may be the best comfort decision.
Yes,
and in some ways, financial decision.
Yes.
But basketball decision, it doesn't seem like the best for either one.
He still loves Houston. They let him
where
go to
James
strip clubs
is in
whenever
his
he wants.
career and where Houston is going in their career. It doesn't seem like it.
I mean, he loves Houston. He loves going to strip clubs whenever he wants. They let him go to Vegas whenever he wants. No, that wasn't the report, Eric. He loves the fact that they can say, they'll tell him, you score 30, do whatever the hell you want. Just be back by game time. He loves that.
Is it why? So why can't the same they say that now? Because they is running the Sixers.
Exactly. That was my response. Makes no sense. He was the guy who was letting him do that, and he wanted out when that guy left.
So is it a different they in Houston we talking about?
Maybe they, who is with us now, and Morey, is not doing that anymore, though. And Harden doesn't average 30 anymore. That's the other thing, too. So if we say, oh, yeah, go to Vegas if you get 30, well, that doesn't happen that often. So he ain't going to Vegas that much, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, all I can say to the whole Houston thing is like his buddy Eric Gordon, I think right before he was traded, like 2 weeks before that, he just talked about how it's the same thing every year with Houston. There's no improvement ever. And so kind of harsh words about Houston. And now James all of a sudden wants to go back to where his buddy just left. I don't know.
I think it's
like we said, it's posturing for a bigger deal.
Yeah. There was a weird conversation between him and people and Morey. Morey was like, we'll see what happens. And the guy's like, well, what? No, we can see anything, buddy. You're opening those pockets.
Yeah.
He's like, let's talk after the season. He's like, all right, we'll watch this. Watch this report I get my guys put out right now.
Yeah. All right. So
and by the way, in pure basketball, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Whatever he's asking for, max contract, the money, he is what they said they would pay him based off of. So
yeah.
Right now he deserves whatever he asks for.
And he paid his dues by taking the cut last offseason to free up more money for us.
That's even
It's added. So I talked about Doc being on Twitter and seeing all this stuff, about, as a joke, seeing, the fans wanted Maxey the starting 5, wanted more minutes for Paul Reed. Another thing fans wanted was more Daniel House instead of George Niang. So that's what we're going to go with Niang with here. So Niang is struggling big time. Since February 1st, he's 12 of 46, shooting 26%. Some fans want House taking his minutes full time, like we saw in Miami on Wednesday night, which he looked pretty good in those minutes. And also some people said I think Niang's made like 1 3 since he dogged Ben Simmons in a radio interview on in Philadelphia, which is also just kind of funny. But I want to get your take on his home and away splits. So upon doing research over this kind of drought that Niang's been in, I looked at his home versus away splits, and he shoots 7% better at home than he does away, which comparatively to the other players on the team, there's really no difference between their home and away splits. There's maybe 1 or 2 percentage points. His is a 7% drop away, which is just interesting. So I want to ask you, Eric, what do you attribute such a big home and away split difference in his shooting? And is that something you're worried about?
It's actually almost 8% now after last night's game.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this before. Some guys just more comfortable at one location. I've seen in Philly where people shoot better on the road than at home because they feel that, they were getting, some guys were getting booed, or you hear the moans, and you heard it more at home than you did on the road. So I've seen it the other way. It's not shocking. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I had to fix, especially if that's you're something the team is kind of dependent on you're doing. Just got to fix it. I don't think it's because if you're on the road, that it's not like you're going to the same place every time. Like it's different places. So you got to make a move. You got to make a change. You got to make it happen. And if it doesn't, then that's when, Doc is going to go a different direction until maybe it does. So I have no reason to. I've seen where, even with myself, I've seen where guys struggle in particular locations on the road, but for it to be in each road place, things will change usually when that happens.
Teja, are you more proponent of getting more minutes to Daniel House instead of Niang because of this drought?
My question is this. Let's say this keeps going like the way it's going. Let's say it becomes 9% and 10% difference. At what point do you go with those percentages and play him less on the road specifically. Would these ever drive? Because, I mean, I know we're analytics driven nowadays. If this goes the rest of the season and it gets worse, at what point are you like, all right, in the playoffs, maybe we play you a little less on the road to plan around this?
Yeah, I don't know if you particularly try to, play them less on the road. I think you may become, what happens, you just become a situational player instead of a rotational player.
Yeah.
You give him a shot. If he has it going, you play him. You give him a shot. If he doesn't, you go a different direction. That's you become a, that's what you become.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, you become a situational player instead of a rotational player. So that's what that means. You certain situations where you're needed or you got it going, you get out until you got it going, then you play. If you don't, that's where it could be headed.
And he's just under 36%. So, I mean, it's not.
No, I'm just saying, I would see that happening before him not playing at all.
Yeah, just totally not. Yeah. I was going to say, though, his road bad split, it's 35.6. So it's almost on 36%. It's not, it's not 43 when he's shooting on the rim. That's crazy, though. I mean, that's it. And he's shooting a lot, too, right? So it's more of his home splits are insane. And his road are just still about league average. So it's like, so basically his road splits are like a good Thibault game for us back in the day when he played for us.
Yeah. Now I'm just happy that we're actually giving Daniel House a chance again, because I feel like we kind of went away from the House experience a little too fast. And I think, him guarding against athletic wings, I think he's a better suited for that.
Why do you think it went away from it too fast?
What do I think?
Almost half the year.
I just feel like he wasn't getting enough minutes. How many minutes was he getting when we had Thibault in there? I mean, his minutes were kind of just pretty much he wasn't getting much time at all. Post, especially during that 23 game, that 18-4 streak. I don't think we even saw House that much.
What streak?
The 18-4 streak that we had. I didn't really see much of House.
And we're talking about getting somebody else minutes, and we were 18-4 streak.
No, I'm just saying we didn't see much of them.
I'm just saying, you see what you're saying? Like, maybe that's why.
But we didn't see much of him to, maybe to say that he was a part of that problem, right?
I didn't say he was a problem. I'm just saying,
I'm not saying you said that.
I told you all earlier in the season I felt Doc was playing too many guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely shortened it last game. It was a tight rotation last game.
Mm-hmm.
He played Harrell for like a minute or two, but outside of that, it was pretty tight.
Yeah.
But House has a chance to maybe get his way back into those Niang road minutes.
Maybe like see more what we saw against Miami.
He played a stellar 13 seconds against
Dallas. Yeah. Yeah, I think he had a kickball in that short time frame he was in the game. All right, so we got game predictions. Saturday night we got the rematch of the ladder gate, so I'm excited for this one. So Saturday night we travel to Milwaukee. Saturday night basketball 2 weeks in a row on ABC. Huge game, and it's one of two more versus the Bucks this season. We lead the season series 1-0 right now, and that's the infamous ladder game. So there might be some extra juice in this one. I know we said that Giannis probably had this game marked on his calendar, so he just comes back right before this game, which is great. Right now we are a 5.5 point underdog at Milwaukee. So who do you guys have on the Saturday night primetime game?
Bucks. We won't cover.
Oof. You're gonna get killed, huh?
You're
gonna get killed, huh? Like +10?
This is one of those games I had marked a long time ago.
Yeah, after the ladder thing. The moment Harold came on the court, you're like, okay, crossing this off. I'm going to win.
Third game of a road trip.
I'm going to win.
No way. You
I'm
are
going win.
surprising.
I think.
So do they play tonight? Let me ask, because you guys don't always tell me if they play in the back to
No.
I don't think Milwaukee's playing tonight.
Oh, does Milwaukee play at night?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
No. Oh,
okay.
They didn't play last night either? No way.
No, they didn't.
No way.
They're gonna be fresh.
No way. I'm going to win, and if we lose, it'll be a heartbreaker. It's going to be close. I think we'll cover that if we lose, but I think we win. I think Sixers tend to throw us off, man. Whenever we think like, oh god, we play the way we played yesterday, we're gonna get dominated by Milwaukee, and they come out and like play like lights out against a really good team. They even do it within games. We thought that game was lost against Dallas.
If
and
we win this game, it's because Maxey went for 35 plus.
Damn. I like it.
You don't think McDaniels could be the Giannis stopper? You don't think McDaniels could be the Giannis stopper?
He's not new to the league. He's just new to our team.
I know.
Giannis has been doing what he's been doing. Like this, it's not no Giannis stopper. He better have that help defense behind you.
Paul Reed
you want to be a Giannis stopper.
I think Tucker could put the Jokic clamps down on Giannis.
I will say, Paul Reed had that good little spurt against Giannis last year, and all. That's why all Sixers fans became pretty much the Paul Reed supporters after that game. Where I think the Giannis went for like 3 for 5 in the 5 minutes he played against him or something like that. It was just
in the NBA, you can't call out primary scorers, primary ball handlers as far as stopping them. You can't call them out. It's too much volume. They'll get numbers on you.
Mm-hmm.
Even with great defense, they'll get numbers on you.
I also think it's funny that Harold did that, lit a fire under Giannis. It's not even in the rotation anymore for the next game. I was like, thanks, Montrez.
We might see Harold if you think we're going to win. If we potentially blow them out on Saturday, which I don't think it's going to happen, we might actually get some Harold minutes in Milwaukee.
Is Joel playing Saturday?
I mean, there's no report.
As of now, I think he is.
Just making sure because y'all didn't tell me he was going to be out Wednesday either.
Well, I mean, Embiid surprises even us sometimes. I wish I knew what when he was going to play and when he wasn't. Yeah, it's pretty surprising, but yeah, I think we'll pull it out.
Yeah, it would suck to lose on national television again 2 weeks in a row because then you have guys like Stephen A. Smith Monday morning saying, see, I told you, the 76ers, you can't trust this team. And I don't want to.
Why are you paying attention to what Stephen A. Smith is talking about?
I like seeing what the hot take chatter is in the morning.
He's a huge hot take show guy, Eric.
I like listening to their sound bites. That's pretty much it.
You mean the hot takes?
Yes. Bulletin board material for me on the show. That's for.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah, and I like bulletin board material. I thrive on that. You're gonna get my best stuff when I have the bulletin board material.
You were dealing with early career.
I mean, it's their show is huge, but it's really no different than ours. It's just they're just giving their opinion.
Yeah, and they don't watch the Sixers every night like we do. They watch like the nationally televised stuff.
That's even more of a reason not to take their opinion on it.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't taken the opinion. He likes the opinion.
Yeah, I like it. Just added juice.
So if you like their opinion, you'll be like, yeah, he know what he's talking about. And if you don't like it, you're gonna be like, man, he's an idiot, man. He don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's true. Because if I hear a Stephen A. Smith clip where he says something good about Embiid, I'll screen record that and post it on Twitter. But if I don't hear that, I'm like, yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, depends how honest you are as a fan. I like to try and stay honest, but even with the guys who know they're talking about, they say dumb things. Like Reggie Miller last night said we couldn't come back because we weren't as experienced or play as good defense as the Lakers do. That was a dumb comment. Like whether I like Miller or not, I was just like, that's stupid.
I mean, we weren't as good as the defensive team as the Lakers were that night.
Yeah.
They came back all the way. We didn't.
No, I mean, the way they were defending that night, we haven't had, like, we've had guys that, but the way they were clicking, no.
Yeah.
I can see that. But overall, no, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, as a team. But in that particular game, yeah, they came back. It was more them than it was Dallas.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think against us, it was more Dallas just got a little colder.
Yeah, and we made shots. I mean, it was, but they got hot, and then they got cold.
Yeah.
So they got a lead, they lost the lead.
Mm-hmm.
That damn third quarter again. We lost that by 15. Oof.
We jinxed it by talking about third quarters last week.
I know.
You jinxed
it. Yeah, you jinxed it, Teja.
I haven't talked about it in a long time.
That's true. That was the first time we talked about it in a while. Okay, so on Monday, so we'll see each other again on Tuesday. Monday, we travel to Indiana for Game 4 of the road trip. We lead the season series 2-0 so far. Who do you guys have in that one on Monday night?
We'll beat the Pacers because we'll have to.
Yeah,
bounce back.
We lose the Pacer game.
So you can't have us losing the Pacers. You have us beating the Bucks.
No. I'm not. We're winning the Pacer game. I'm saying if we lose the Pacer game, there are some problems. And then I do lean possibly Harden rumors affecting teammates. Something's got to be there.
Just because they lose to the Pacers?
After losing 5 out of 6 and then losing to the Pacers?
The Pacers just went to
Boston and took him over.
Boston.
Oh, yeah. See, Teja, what you just said, now that is something I hear on First Take. Like a loss like that, Indiana, they need to blow it up. Now, that's a First Take comment right there. See, Eric, this is why I watch that stuff.
See our take, too.
His take.
Do I need to do it like Stephen A? Let me tell you something right now. There you go.
Very.
Let me tell you something right now. If they lose this game, Harden's going back to Houston. There you go. There's a Stephen A take for you.
All right. Well, hopefully you're right about the Milwaukee game on Saturday night. Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know. 5.5 points. It seems weird. I think I actually lean Eric. Usually, I want to take us the money line on this one, but
yeah, I'm going pure like feeling. But yeah, the spread definitely says take. But they are the hottest team by far in the league right now,
and we did look like ass last night.
Yes,
Moment to that game.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in and Bleav In 76ers presented by BetOnline. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Hopefully Milwaukee. Hopefully we pull away that ladder gate part 2. And maybe Trez wants to shoot around on Milwaukee's. That'd be very petty.
16-game win streak, man. So
all good things are
nice to get it. Hopefully we can.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Enjoy.